You are missing the golden moment because you are paralyzing yourself with politeness. You think you're being a gentleman by keeping your distance, but while you're busy trying not to be that guy, you are actually killing the romantic tension she worked so hard to build. Here is the cold, hard truth. Most men freeze up at the exact second a woman is mentally leaning in, waiting for them to lead. By hesitating, you aren't showing respect. You're showing a lack of awareness. You're leaving her out in the cold, forcing her to wonder if you're even interested at all. To stop this cycle, you have to stop guessing and start reading the biology of attraction. There is a massive, fundamental difference between polite socializing and genuine interest. When a woman is just being friendly, she is in total control of herself. Her physical distance is calculated, her movements are steady, and her speech is perfectly clear because her logical brain is running the show. She is staying within the safety of social norms. But the moment she feels a real spark, that logic takes a back seat. Her nervous system kicks in, and her body starts acting on instinct. She stops being a social acquaintance and starts becoming a partner in a primal dance. If you are sitting there waiting for her to look you in the eye and say, "Please kiss me now," you are going to be waiting forever. That's not how attraction works in the real world. For a woman, the magic is tied to the narrative, the feeling of being swept away in a moment that just happened. The second she has to give you verbal permission, the spell is broken. You've forced her to take the masculine role of leading the interaction, and you've stripped away the mystery. More importantly, she uses indirect signals to protect her ego. If she signals with her body and you don't respond, she can pretend she was just being friendly. She creates the opening, the silence, and the look. It is your job to have the confidence to step into it. The most powerful signals of attraction happen entirely below her conscious awareness, which means she isn't performing them. Her body is simply reacting to yours. If you are hyper-focused on her lips or waiting for a verbal cue, you are missing the raw biological data that tells the real story. To truly understand if the door is open, you have to look past the social mask and watch how her nervous system responds to your presence. These are involuntary reactions that prove her logic has stepped aside to let her instincts take the lead. Sign number 1 is what I call the silent gasp. This is a pure shot of adrenaline hitting her system the moment she senses a physical escalation is possible. It might happen when you lean in slightly or when your voice drops into a lower, more intimate register. Pay close attention to her upper body, specifically the area around her collarbone. Her breathing will suddenly shift from a relaxed rhythmic cycle to a shallow, held state. This tiny, almost imperceptible pause in her breath is her body's way of saying she is in a state of high anticipation. If she were uncomfortable or uninterested, her breathing would remain flat or she would physically create more space. That hitch in her breath is the biological green light. Her body is literally bracing for and imagining what might happen next. Sign number 2 is territorial grooming, and it is the moment she breaks the ultimate barrier. Every person has an intimate zone that extends about 18 inches from their body, a sacred space usually reserved for family or lovers. When a woman is interested, she won't just enter this zone. She will find a socially acceptable excuse to stay there. This is why she'll reach out to pick a piece of lint off your shoulder, straighten your collar, or smooth down a stray hair. While most guys just say thanks and think she's being helpful, they are missing the primal subtext. In evolutionary biology, grooming is a bonding ritual reserved exclusively for mates. By fixing you, she is being territorial. She is claiming you in public and checking to see if you flinch at her touch. If you stay still and hold her gaze, you have implicitly agreed to that closeness, and the touch barrier is officially broken. At this stage, the interaction moves from simple proximity to active physical preparation. These are the pre-contact markers, involuntary behaviors that show her body is literally getting ready for a physical connection before her conscious mind has even finished the thought. Since these movements are driven by the subconscious, they are nearly impossible to fake and serve as your most reliable roadmap for knowing when the tension has reached its peak. Sign number 3 is what psychologists call subconscious prep, and it's all about vulnerability and openness. Keep a sharp eye out for the hair sweep or the deliberate neck tilt. In evolutionary terms, the neck is one of the most sensitive and vulnerable parts of the human body. When a woman sweeps her hair to one side to expose her neck to you, She is signaling a deep level of primal trust. She is effectively removing a physical barrier to show she feels safe in your presence. This is often paired with subconscious mouth grooming, such as a light touch of her fingers to her lips or a subtle, lingering bite of her lower lip. She isn't doing this to pose for you. Her brain is sending signals to the area in anticipation of contact. Her body is physically preparing the runway for a kiss long before she's decided to say a single word about it. Sign number 4 is the triangular gaze, which is the ultimate tool for target acquisition. In a standard social setting, people maintain eye contact by looking from one eye to the other. It's friendly and balanced. However, when romantic intent takes over, the geometry of her gaze changes. Her eyes will travel from your left eye to your right eye, and then noticeably drop down to your lips before flicking back up. This is target mapping. Her brain is literally measuring the distance and focusing on the point of contact. If you catch her doing this more than once, especially during a quiet moment in the conversation, she isn't just looking at you. She is visualizing the moment of impact. She is mentally checking in on your mouth because that is where she wants the interaction to go next. This is the exact moment where 99% of men fail and accidentally snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. You've had a great night, the stories have been told, the laughter has finally tapered off, and suddenly a heavy, thick silence fills the room. Most men interpret this stillness as an emergency. They feel a spike of social anxiety and assume the silence means she's bored, the date is crashing, or things have become awkward. To fix it, they start babbling. They tell a random story about work, bring up a boring news headline, or ask a safe question about her pets. By doing this, they effectively kill the romantic tension with a sledgehammer, resetting the energy back to just friends and destroying the mood she was trying to build. You need to stop viewing silence as a mistake and start seeing it for what it truly is, a vacuum designed for connection. In the world of high-level attraction, words are actually a barrier. You cannot deeply connect with someone or move into a physical moment while you are debating politics or talking about your office schedule. If she wanted to keep things strictly platonic or keep you at a distance, she would use a verbal shield. She would keep chattering about anything and everything, the weather, her friends, her weekend plans, specifically to ensure there is no space for a move to be made. Noise is the ultimate safety net for someone who doesn't want to be kissed. When she goes quiet, stays in your personal space, and maintains eye contact without reaching for her phone, she is handing you the keys to the kingdom. She is intentionally creating a void because she wants to see if you have the emotional strength to sit in that high-intensity energy with her. She is testing your confidence. She wants to know, are you going to break under the pressure and make a nervous joke, or are you man enough to be present in the silence and lean in? That heavy feeling isn't awkwardness, it is expectation. It is the physical manifestation of chemistry. When you rush to fill it with words, you are telling her that you are uncomfortable with intimacy. When you embrace it, you are showing her you're ready to lead. All the biological data and psychological insights in the world are useless if you don't have the mindset to execute when the moment arrives. Many men try to play it safe by asking for verbal permission, saying things like, "Can I kiss you?" While this might seem polite on paper, in the heat of a romantic moment, it is the ultimate vibe killer. By asking the question, you are effectively forcing her to snap out of her feeling brain, where she is swept up in the chemistry, and back into her logical brain to give you a formal answer. This breaks the flow, kills the mystery, and places the burden of the decision entirely on her shoulders. It turns a primal romantic connection into a clinical transaction. Instead of asking, you lead with a strategy called the 90-10 rule. This is the most effective way to initiate a kiss while maintaining total respect and social intelligence. Here is how it works. You take the lead by closing 90% of the physical distance between your face and hers. You move in slowly, deliberately, and confidently, but you stop just a few inches short of her. This leaves that final, crucial 10% of the distance for her to bridge. By stopping short, you are giving her the ultimate power of consent without needing to say a word. You are inviting her to join you in that final inch of space. The beauty of this rule is that it provides an instant, nonverbal answer. If she leans in that last 10% to meet you, it is an enthusiastic yes and a genuine connection. However, if she stays perfectly still or gently pulls back, you have your answer immediately without a single awkward sentence being exchanged. Because you didn't force the contact, you can simply retreat, give her a charming smile, and continue the conversation as if nothing happened. No harm, no foul. You have successfully demonstrated two of the most attractive qualities a man can possess: the confidence to lead and the respect to listen to her boundaries. Stop waiting for a written invitation or a neon sign. The biology is already there. Take the lead, use the 90-10 rule, and stop being the guy who wonders what if years later.